It is now my great pleasure and honor to welcome His Excellency Director Wang Yi. Director Wang Yi is the head of the Communist Party Central Committee's Foreign Affairs Commission and Minister of Foreign Affairs of China. Mr. Wang Yi has been a long-time guest of the Munich Security Conference. We are very happy that you are representing China's view on this conference every year, again this year, and we are also very happy that you are ready after your introduction to enter into a discussion which I'm looking forward to hold. Director Wang Yi, you have the floor. Again, thank you very much for coming.
Your Excellency, Chairman Christoph Hoskin, dear friends, colleagues, the world we live in is an increasing mix of turbulence and transformation. Many people are asking, where is it headed? If I may borrow the theme of this year's Munich Security Report, it is headed toward multipolarization. When the United Nations was founded 80 years ago, it had only 51 member states. Today, 193 countries ride in the same big boat. A multipolar world is not only a historical inevitability, it is also becoming a reality. Will multipolarity bring chaos, conflict, and confrontation? Does it mean domination by major countries and the strong bullying the weak? China's answer is, we should work for an equal and orderly multipolar world. This is another major proposition put forward by President Xi Jinping, and it represents our sincere expectation for a multipolar world. China will surely be a factor of certainty in this multipolar system and strive to be a steadfast, constructive force in a changing world. Here I want to make 4 points. First, it is important to advocate equal treatment. Rivalry between big powers had brought disaster to humanity, as evidenced by the lessons of the 2 world wars in the not-so-distant past. Whether it is the colonial system or the core periphery structure, unequal orders are bound to meet their demise. Independence and autonomy is sought across the world, and democracy in international relations is an unstoppable trend. Equal rights, equal opportunities, and equal rules should become the basic principles of a multipolar world. It is in this principle that China advocates equality among all countries, regardless of size, and calls for increasing the representation and say of developing countries in the international system. This will not lead to Westlessness, but will deliver more positive sum results to the world. The Munich Security Conference has invited more participants from Global South countries in recent years, and this is a wise thing to do. Every country should have their voice heard. Every country should be able to find their place and play their role in a multipolar paradigm. Second, it is important to respect international rule of law. As an old Chinese saying goes, circles and squares cannot be drawn without compasses and rulers, which means nothing can be accomplished without following norms and standards. The purposes and principles of the UN Charter provide fundamental guidance for handling international relations and are an important cornerstone of a multipolar world. The world today is witnessing incessant chaos and confusion, and one important reason is that some countries believe might makes right and have opened a Pandora's box marked the law of the jungle. In reality, all countries, regardless of size or strength, are stakeholders in international rule of law. The multipolar paradigm must not be a state of disarray. Without norms and standards, one may be at the table yesterday but end up on the menu tomorrow. Major countries must take the lead in honoring their words and upholding rule of law, and must not say one thing but do another or engage in zero-sum game. It is based on the above points of view that China resolutely upholds the authority of international rule of law and actively fulfills its international responsibilities and obligations. It is a member of almost all universal intergovernmental organizations and a party to over 600 international conventions. It never practices exceptionalism, still less cherry-picking. It is providing the greatest certainty in this uncertain world. I wish to emphasize that there should be no double standards in observing international law. Respect for all countries' sovereignty and territorial integrity should mean support for China's complete reunification. Third, it is important to practice multilateralism. In the face of emerging global challenges, no country can stay unaffected. And the we first approach in international relations only leads to a lose-lose result. The UN is at the core of practicing multilateralism and advancing global governance. This edifice has shielded all countries from wind and rain for nearly 80 years, and is all the more needed in the multipolar world of the future. We should cement its foundation rather than destroy its pillars. We should take up our responsibilities on governing global issues rather than seek self-interests only. It is from this understanding that China upholds true multilateralism and advocates the vision on global governance featuring extensive consultation and joint contribution for shared benefit. We have firmly upheld the authority and stature of the UN and contributed to more than 20% of the UN regular budget. We have acted earnestly on the Paris Agreement on climate change and built the world's largest clean power generation system. We have also proposed and delivered on the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative, providing public goods for improving global governance. Fourth, it is important to pursue openness and mutual benefit. Development holds the key to addressing various problems. The multipolar world should be one where all countries develop together. Protectionism offers no way out, and arbitrary tariffs produce no winners. Decoupling deprives one of opportunities, and a small yard with high fences only ends up restraining oneself. It is important to pursue open cooperation and support an equal and orderly multipolar world with a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization. It is for this goal that China stays committed to sharing development opportunities with all countries. An Australian scholar called China an enabler, which I find very fitting. With a 5% GDP growth last year, China contributed to nearly 30% of the world economic growth. It has served as an important engine for global economic growth and shared with the world the benefit of its supersized market. China is willing to synergize high-quality Belt and Road cooperation with the European Union's Global Gateway strategy, so as to empower each other and empower the entire world. Friends, China has always seen in Europe an important pole in the multipolar world. The two sides are partners, not rivals. This year marks the 50th anniversary of China-EU diplomatic relations. Taking this opportunity, China is willing to work with the European side to deepen strategic communication and mutually beneficial cooperation and steer the world to a bright future of peace, security, prosperity, and progress. Thank you.